Hey guys, it is April from Getting Hooga With It. Today I am here to do a horror haul. I always need a little bit of scary eeriness in my life, and so I've added to it. So let's get into it. First book that I want to talk about is The Vanishing by Wendy Webb. Now this was part of my giveaway that I did a few weeks back, and this is a ghost-y kind of story. It follows Julia Bishop, whose life is really collapsing around her, and one day this man appears on a doorstep and he says, "Hey, would you like to be my mother's companion?" And his mother, it turns out, is a horror writer who everyone thought was dead up until this moment. And so she says, "Yes, of course, I'm there." And she moves to Havenwood, which is this grand house. And while she's there, it sounds like things go awry. The house might be haunted, the grounds might be haunted, and it just sounds so good. I love a good ghost story, so I'm gonna read that one. I also picked up Gretel and the Dark. This is a mysterious kind of book. It follows two timelines and two different people, and yet their lives interweave somehow. So it follows a man in 1899 Vienna, and he is a psychoanalyst, and he stumbles upon this case where there's this woman who has no feelings. She's beautiful, but she has no feelings and no name, and it turns out that she's a machine, so he's trying to get to the bottom of that. And then it moves forward into Nazi-controlled Germany, where Krista really plays alone a lot of the time because her dad is working in the infirmary next door. And so she starts to dive into all of these fairy tales, and then her reality becomes even scarier than the tales that she's reading. So it's meant to be really good, and it's just a little mysterious, so I picked that up. I also picked up We Need to Talk About Kevin. I had seen the movie of this a couple of years ago, but I don't remember too much, so I'm hoping that viewing doesn't ruin this for me, because this is supposed to be good. It won the Orange Prize, and it's about a mother who didn't really ever want to become a mother, but she's a mom, and sadly her teenage boy goes on a rampage and kills like 7 high school students and a cafeteria worker and a teacher, and he kills all of these people. And this follows the mother like 2 years later, dealing with what her son has done and also dealing with the shambles that her marriage has become. So it also sounds like she's a little bit afraid of her own son, which would be terrifying. And yeah, I'm excited for that. Now, I don't read short story collections, if I'm being honest, but this one called out to me because of who it's by. Paul Tremblay. He wrote A Head Full of Ghosts, which I loved. Oh my gosh, I loved that book. This is called In the Meantime, and it's a series of horror short stories, so I'm excited. I also picked up this chunker, The Terror by Dan Simmons. I've never read anything by Dan Simmons, but I've heard that this is one of his best books. So this follows a ship in 1845. It's the Franklin expedition, and they are in search of the Northwest Passage, and they get stuck in the Arctic Circle. They get stuck, and while they're stuck, there's something out there that wants to kill them all, and it's not the cold. I feel like I really want to read this in the winter because it's obviously really cold, but I'm looking forward to this. I think Katie from Life Between Words read this and really liked it, so fingers crossed. I also got Handling the Undead. This is by the author who wrote Let the Right One In. I've never read that. I watched the movie and I wish that I'd read the book first. Anyway, that was vampires. This is zombies. So your loved ones are now coming back to life. So this follows a man named David who always knew that his wife was too good for him. He is completely lost on the night that she dies, and when he goes to identify her body, she opens up her eye. Don't really read a lot of zombie stuff, so I'm really eager to pick this up. Those were the horror books that I picked up recently. Let me know if there are any horror books that you've recently read that you've really liked. I'm always on the lookout for more because I don't get scared easily, and I'm always looking for those books that will just terrify me to no end. So let me know, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!